Hey folks, this is Colin Richards, president and founder of Lord and Richards, and I'm thrilled to be with you on another exciting episode of the Lord and Richards Show today. And I'm glad to be representing a team of advisors here at Lord and Richards who are helping people just like you to retire financially independent. And today in this segment, we're going to be talking about two particular teachings found in Psalm 71. First, found in verse 9, it says, "Do not cast me off in the time of old age. Forsake me not when my strength is spent." And then in Psalm 71, verses 17 and 18, it says, "O God, from my youth you have taught me, and I still proclaim your wondrous deeds. So even to old age and gray hairs, O God, do not forsake me until I proclaim your might to another generation, your power to all those who come." Two beautiful psalms that deal with the subject of old age. And we're entitling this segment, "Don't Forsake Me, Don't Forsake Me." And you know, that is one of the core values, principles of Lord and Richards. We have 5 core principles, beginning with fear God. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And then we continue on through those principles and come to this very principle, take care of one another in old age. It's a vital principle that any couple that loves each other would be happy to do. In the psalm, the psalmist is calling upon God actually to take care of him, to remember him, to not forsake him, even when he is old and frail. You know, it's a rhetorical statement because do we really have to worry about God not taking care of his children? The answer is absolutely not. God has promised, "I will never leave you. I will never forsake you." But you know, old age can be a time when we begin to feel a little bit more insecure. Maybe as our body gets a little bit weaker and as our strength is starting to lessen, maybe we feel a little more concerned about doing some of the things we used to do. It can even be something as simple as driving or going up and down stairs and so forth. This is a natural, normal process of aging. We don't like it, of course, but it is natural. It is normal to feel more insecure and perhaps more worried about circumstances outside of your control. This is a key point with Lord and Richards because what we want you to do is feel secure and in control. So in this particular passage, the psalmist reminds God that, you know, I, having been taught by you since my very youth, have continued to tell everybody about your amazing works. And you know, when you call upon God out of your own life, you can expect him to hear. And you can also expect, if you have been faithful in telling others about him, that he is going to be faithful to you. So this psalmist wants to retain enough strength to continue to proclaim God's might to the next generation. It's a beautiful, beautiful prayer because he's not merely asking for strength for himself. You know, there are people in this world who might grasp at longevity with all that they've got. They would tell you they'd be willing to spend everything they have just to live a few more weeks or months. But what the psalmist is saying here is, I want to live strong into my old age so that I can continue to tell people about how amazing you are, God. That's a wonderful, wonderful prayer. Similarly, it is fair for us to call upon those who are closest to us in our family to remember us when we are older, when we are among the elderly. You know, something that I see in my role as a financial advisor and planner is that too often the children of elderly parents get on with their lives, focusing upon themselves, their kids' schedule, getting ahead at work, whatever it may be, and they forsake their parents and leave them on their own, more or less. Now, they might come visit grandma and grandpa once in a while, but really, from a personal perspective, they've more or less forsaken them. I saw this recently as I was helping an elderly person whose children really have taken no interest. They've offered to help her financially, but have done nothing. And you know, the Bible has a clear message to kids like this, even nieces and nephews of a widow. widow or widower who is having a difficult financial time. And again, as my role both as a pastor and as a financial advisor, I work with a lot of widows and widowers who are on their own and maybe financially struggling. And the first place they should be able to look is to their family, to their children, to their nephews. The Bible says if you forsake your parents or your aunt or your uncle who is in financial need, you are worse than an infidel. The Apostle Paul used that language. He says, if you do not take care of those of your own household, you're worse than somebody who's outside of the faith. As children of elderly parents, we should honor our father and our mother. The Bible points out that this is the first of the 10 commandments that contained a special promise, which is long life. And I think that means doing more than just dropping in at Thanksgiving and Christmas. I think that means staying in touch, going out of your way to find ways to honor them, to do special things for them, to make them feel loved and appreciated. And maybe your relationship wasn't always the best when you were younger, but now this is your opportunity to take control of that relationship. And you know what? God promises that if you go out of your way to honor your parents, whether it's through finances, whether it's through how you take care of them, then you can expect a longer life. That's a pretty special promise. And also, of course, a spouse, not just kids, should remain committed to the care of their wife or husband until death. You know, we were recently going through vows with a young couple about to be married, and we said, this is an unbreakable vow. Now, people break it, but in the eyes of God, it can't be broken. And when we commit to one another, we do it till death do us part. I am so grateful to have been able to watch my father take amazing care, love, and concern for my mother during a period after she had her stroke. My dad was an awesome caregiver. And I saw that also in my own family with my sister stepping up and honoring her mother. She lived close by and was able to do things that really expressed her honor for mom. This might mean taking on the burden of care, right, for our spouse, doing the heavy lifting literally. It might mean taking on financial management. We're working with several couples where one spouse now is having to take that on, and it's our delight to help you with that. And this can be a tremendous burden. So planning ahead can make things more manageable later on. In subsequent segments, we're going to be talking about how to avoid bankruptcy from healthcare problems, chronic illness. These are the number one causes of bankruptcy in retirement, and we want to help you. We're helping people just like you every single day who want to retire financially independent but are concerned about the events going on in our world messing that up, or events out of your control like chronic illness. Well, the good news is we're helping hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people just like you to not only get retired, but stay retired, maintaining their financial independence. If you'd like to sit down with us, it is a completely complimentary visit. We'd love to talk to you, let you share your concerns, your goals, your dreams, your values. It only starts with a simple phone call.